Welcome to Australia's Carbrook Golf Club. Located about 30 minutes south of the city of Brisbane, Carbrook is a par 71, 6,200 metre course that presents quite a challenge to both members and visitors alike. But the thing that makes this course stand out from all others in Australia, and perhaps anywhere in the world, is what lives within one of the course's sizable water hazards. Golfing visitors should beware.
Well, in 1994-95, roughly, we had some massive floods in this area, and the Logan River, which sits alongside the course here, burst its banks, and a couple of sharks, we don't know how many, came in at that time, and when the flood sort of receded, we ended up with the sharks stuck in there, and they've just grown up, living in the lake that sits beside the golf course there.
These Carbrook residents are certainly taking a risk that none of the human locals are prepared to. In the early years after the flood, it took a while to convince people that the sharks were actually there, a legend now proven to be true.
It was probably a bit of a myth at the start, like the Loch Ness Monster. And that went on for a number of years, and then a couple of people actually got some shots of a fin on the water, which sort of gave it a bit more validity. And then sort of earlier this year, I wanted to get some video footage, which a couple of the members had got, but no one had really done anything with it. So I stuck it on YouTube, and the worldwide phenomenon that social media is now, that sort of shown the world that our sharks are real. It got picked up by Yahoo in America and Canada, and that it went from basically a couple of thousand views to about 1.7 million views in about a week. The Courier Mail, which is Brisbane's major newspaper, came and took some photos, and fortunately we got a front page photo with, I was on there with the shark. It was a great shot, and so that then attracted a lot of radio interest, as well as various other publications. So we've certainly had our share of publicity, that's for sure.
We've already got a great white shark in the game, Greg Norman, but this is the real thing. The Carbrook bull sharks are old hands at the media game, a bit of meat in the water, and they're more than happy to make an appearance and even put on a bit of a show for the golfing world cameras.
We've seen about 5 or 6 at once, but I've had some people that know what they're talking about, who've come and done some footage on the sharks, and they tell me that there's some juvenile sharks in there, which means that they're breeding, which is great news, and apparently quite a unique situation. It's proved pretty popular. I know there's a number of people that come just to play and hopefully see the sharks, and that's local and also international visitors, so it is proving to be a great little asset for our club here.
Carbrook has certainly embraced its identity as home to one of the world's most dangerous water hazards. From the local Shark Lake Challenge to national level championships, Carbrook also represents a stern golfing test, although all players must remember not to retrieve their ball if they're a little wayward.
People talk about how good the greens are, consistently year round, they're always good. It's quite a forgiving place to play. Like, there's a lot of water, but it's, there's also a lot of area where you can miss it.
It's sort of it's a linksy feel. It's a fairly flat golf course with some small undulations, especially around the greens. There are a number of trees, but I would say it's a fairly open style of golf course.
They're two different nines. The front's pretty straightforward, like shape-wise, most holes are pretty straight. And the holes are a lot more shaped on the back. There's a lot more dog legs, and the par threes are a bit longer on the back. So there is quite a bit of difference from front to back. Around 3 or 4 under, I think, is a pretty good score, for the pros around here.
And it's no surprise that the signature hole, the 15th, incorporates the now famous water hazard and its inhabitants. You'd take your life into your hands if you decided to go wading to retrieve any errant approach shots. And of course that means there's a pretty good stash of balls lying at the bottom of that lake.
Yeah, certainly we've got a ball contractor, but he doesn't go into that lake for obvious reasons. In fact, he's not allowed to go in that lake with his contract, but I wouldn't have a clue. There'd be thousands and thousands. I mean, it's 17 years roughly, and we sort of attract around 40,000 golfers a year, so you do the maths and, there'd be plenty of golf balls in there. But you got to put a value on your life, I suppose.
It comes into play on 2 holes, especially the tee shot on 12, so I'd imagine there's a lot in front of the tee on the 12th. at a guess. I've seen quite a few go in there myself. I'd hate to imagine. Monday someone will get in there and find out, I would think, but maybe not in my lifetime.